You can't love the show and be mean to me. That's like crazy. This isn't Cumia. I want to show you something that Cumia did. We're going to do the boat on the next episode. I'll show you some Cumia. Count Cumia. The Count DMs people on Twitter. This is a good one. So watch what the Count does. Trevor Naditu says, and he's in the Bring Back group. He says, the Count angry enough to DM and block me after I point out that he is just as much, if not more, irrelevant than Stuttering John. He's a very insecure vamp. So this guy said, you're just as irrelevant as Stuttering John. And then Cumia DMs people. So I want to do this. You know how like hashtag Me Too got everyone to start talking about how many people have been sexually harassed by people and they haven't talked about it. The amount of people Cumia DMs on Twitter and harasses is staggering. We've covered this. I like to cover them every time they happen to show you Cumia is not chill. Cumia lies. Cumia will come on a show and go, ha! You think I care about anything? I'm a nice, fun guy. Everything's a joke. It's not. He's a rageful, mean vamp. And he DMs people on Twitter and says stuff like this. Look at what he said. 25 followers. Your amazing wit is reaching no one. Enjoy your obscurity. Ha! Would you ever write that to someone? I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. Even my worst enemies, I wouldn't say that to. Because I'd be like, they'd screenshot this and show everyone. I'd look like a fool. Why is this okay? Why is this allowed? Why is anyone... And he does this to hundreds of people. How many of you have gotten a DM from Cumia? Now, I also want to say this. I don't like this attitude of, all I did was say Cumia's irrelevant. He can't... That's terrible. Okay? That's very insulting. So you didn't... And I see this every day. People go, all I did is tell Cumia he's like this big, huge piece of shit, and he blocked me. What the fuck? It's like, what do you expect? Don't pretend like... If you're going to be completely insulting to somebody, expect that they're going to be mad. Now... Most people, you got to go about it in like a cooler way. You don't DM people. That's fucking... But don't also be like, I did nothing. All I did was tell Cumia he's an irrelevant, balding, scarred up guy, and he blocked me. Oh, he has thin skin. No, I would block you too. Nobody needs to be harassed. But, why would anyone want that? So, yeah, what is he going to do? Be like, hey, you're great. It's not, and they always preference it as, all I did was, what do you mean all you did? You said the horrible things to him. So, don't be like that. They always say that, like, I can't believe, this guy talks about free speech and then he blocks me. All I did was say how much of a piece of shit he is. Yeah, of course he's going to, why would he want you around during his life? Now, here's the problem. You shouldn't have guys saying that to you. Your own listeners should not be criticizing you all the time and telling you about problems you have and stuff like that. Like, if Red Bar listeners were doing that to me, first of all, I would flip the fuck out. And second, I would really start thinking about like, okay, I'm not doing this right then. If my own listeners are constantly turning on me, I'm not doing something right. What you want is your listener base should be on your side most of the time. And yeah, random people, that's where you say I don't give a fuck. Like, if somebody who's never heard Red Bar, like, heard it once and said, like, this show is shit, I mean, I would never be mad at that guy. I would go, he doesn't get it. He doesn't even understand what we're doing here. Of course he thinks it's shit. Tunes in, it's 7 hours about a guy named Gino. Why would he think that's good? So, but if it's your own listeners constantly going, man, the show is shit, then that's a problem. Okay? But yeah, don't expect this guy to be like fair and nice to you when you're saying these heinous things to him. Okay? But he does this. He blocks people and he DMs each of them, and he always says stuff like, 25 followers? Nice life. Ha! Remember when Cumia had 175,000 followers, then he got banned from Twitter and he wasn't able to ever get anywhere near that number? Cumia's got like 29,000 followers now. I don't know why Twitter can't ban this fucking fake account, second account that he has. Account. But Cumia does this to everyone. Here's one. I've been there. Danny Woodward. Here's a DM to another listener. Oh, sorry. This is Twitter. You seem to have mistaken it for Reddit. Run along now. Enjoy obscurity. This is the count's thing. Obscurity. If you're not famous like him, the green screen machine, then you're a nobody. You count. Do you realize most people aren't living in fame land and they don't want to be? You know, that would be like if you said something insulting to an airplane pilot, like, ha! Look at this landlubber. Good luck living not in the air. Okay, yeah, I'm not a pilot. Sorry. Not everyone flies planes. We didn't dedicate our life to this mission. So it's really, really terrible. And there's no worse way to shit on your listeners and to separate yourself from them. This is why everyone turns. When you treat your listenership as civilians and you're on this like higher level than them, that's when they're going to start hating you. And comedians do this. Comedians think that they're better than us. They are worse. They are worse in every way. The only difference between a comedian and us is that they have spent every waking hour trying to have fame, and they barely pathetically get to this point where they have a few hundred people who like them. And then they're going to have this air about them like they're so much better than you. They're not better than you. They just spent all their time trying to get to this point. If you did that, you'd be the same level as Big J if you spent as much time as Big J did trying to make his shitty comedy work. Yeah. Hey, you ever shoved 3 fingers in the butt of a girl? If you do that every night, yeah, you'll get somewhere. Woohoo. So it really is like, yeah, most people are obscure. Most people aren't trying to have everyone know them. It's cringe. Okay, County? And this is what Count does. I don't know why he isn't fired. I hate that the Count doesn't get fired. He needs to face consequences for being so mean. Living in a compound as the Count is the definition of obscure. There's nothing wrong with being obscure. Especially when you're a regular person. You're just like, hey, the Count, you bite women, you hit women, you're bad. Coming from a guy who's obscure. It's like, okay, who should it come from? A celebrity? That's the only way that it makes sense? The Count, man. You know, I don't know about this Count. He laughed so loud. Oh, I hate that Count, huh? I got the hiccups. This Count. So, I got some more Count stuff. The Count, okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm having a rough time at living lately. It ain't good. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. It's not helping. Eating so many Italian beef deliveries. I'm starting to look like, oh, it's Teddy. Look that guy up. I'm starting to look like, oh, it's Teddy. Okay, this guy says the Count is insecure about obscurity because deep down he knows he's fading into it. Normal people don't even know about him anymore. It's true. I tell people all the time, I go, yeah, you know, people go, what is your show about? I go, we cover the Count and stuff. And they go, the Count? Who's the Count? And I go, you don't know the Count. They go, from Sesame Street. I go, oh, wow. So he really is fading into obscurity. People don't know. When you say the Count, they go, who's that? I'll tell you who does know. Karen from MWOT. The Count's only claim to fame recently was his biting. Otherwise, he's completely ignored in the mainstream, someone says. Dave McDonald is the head of HR at Compound. A Nazoo County judge said the same thing about him. How was your checkup at the doctor, Mark? It wasn't good. They had a team of guys look at me. I went to the doctor. I don't like to talk about my personal life anymore because they use it against me so much in the papers. But I went to the doctor. I had a whole team of guys looking at all my stuff, and they didn't find nothing bad. So I'm going to keep going. We're going to keep finding out why I feel so mad. Cumia has no heart. Mike keeps the Cumia relevant by watching him. His paywall was a bad move. I didn't know about Cumia until this show, and I'm 19. Someone says, shout-outs to the 19-year-olds. Those are the people I want around here. He will bite again. Keeping up the scars pill. I don't like when people joke about scars pills. Mark was in a room like Gary Sinise in The Stand. Au jus, yeah. They said my blood is mostly au jus. Mike is hexed. You need to get on the meds. Why? I'm like a perfectly reasonable guy. Here's Teddy, yeah. Yeah, here's the guy. So this is what I'm starting to look like here. Can you see? This is what I fear I'm becoming. Guy like this, where your face is all fucking burnt. Is that what I look like? Like this? When you see me, do you see this? Because that's what I see. When I look in the mirror, I see this. What do you guys think? I don't want to turn towards the camera now. I'm too ashamed. What do you guys think? When I look in the mirror, this is what I see.
Flat broke. Gino ain't got no money. Flat broke. He's always looking so damn crummy. Flat broke Gino.